I want to prove once and for all that society does not care about children. They only pretend they care about children when they're attacking men, using the child as a tool. But here's a case where a young boy was murdered by his mother, and society knew she was dangerous to him. And yet they gave her custody instead of his, protective father. Because to society, the children are not people. They're just objects that the mother owns, and if she feels like destroying them, she can. And here's another thing before I go on with this article. See this Buffalo supermarket shooter? I saw this in the news last night. When men do something horrific, the news outlets trumpet it to everyone to hear. But I never see cases like this on the news. Never. Because they keep women's destructive natures under wraps. Now, this Minnesota woman who asked the store clerk for ammunition that would blow the biggest hole was found guilty Wednesday of fatally shooting her 6-year-old son just 10 days after regaining custody of him, in a case that raised questions about the conduct of child welfare workers. Notice someone has to die before they start questioning the obvious, right? The welfare system is about giving women whatever they want. They don't care about children. The name is a joke, or the title. And she gained custody. Remember this. Now, the jurors deliberated for less than 2 hours before finding Julissa Thaler, a 29-year-old Spring Park woman with a history of mental illness and drug abuse, guilty of first-degree murder in the death of Eli Hart. So they knew ahead of time, society knew that she was mentally ill and she abused drugs, and she gained custody in preference to the man. And there's our loving mother. And this is the other thing the PMC is working to destroy, this idea that women have these natural instincts to love children. They don't. They have a natural instincts to use children. That's why they have them. Now, they talked about the charges. They said investigators said Eli was shot inside his mother's car in a parking lot. Police found the body in the trunk trunk May 20th, after pulling her over for a traffic violation. Well, she mucked up there, didn't she? Now, during the closing arguments, defense lawyer Brian Leary said she participated in the boy's death, but is not the one who shot him. He said no eyewitnesses, photos, or evidence connected her to the killing. That is an embarrassing thing for this lawyer to say. She couldn't have been the one that shot him. She was in the car by herself, and the boy was in the trunk. Who else was going to shoot him? She's not charged with the crime they have proved. She destroyed evidence, lied to the police, ran away, but they have not proved beyond reasonable doubt that the gun was in her hands when it was fired 9 times into her son. Oh my God, she killed this boy 9 times. And she wanted something that would blow the biggest hole. So she really wanted to destroy him. She didn't just want to put him under really, gently, did she? She just destroy him. So this is all premeditation, by the way, for this crazy person, right? Thaler did not testify. Her defense called no witnesses, so she had nothing to defend herself with. It's an open and shut case. Her lawyer should be embarrassed to give a statement like that. Overwhelming evidence, including cell phone data linking her to all the sites involved in the death. So Thaler killed her son, either for life insurance money because of her mental health or after the stress of the custody battle with her boy's father. So notice there was an actual battle. The battle itself shouldn't have even happened, let alone the fact that this woman got custody. They should just look at her and say, sorry, you're not getting it. This boy is not being put in your care. But they chose her over the father, knowing that this person was not a good person. Also know the boy's DNA was found in Thaler's hair and on her skin and clothes. If she didn't shoot him, why didn't she tell the police when pulled over? Oh my God, someone shot my son. He's in the trunk. She wasn't smart enough to lie about it. It's so obvious. There's nothing, it's an open and shut case. Now, her ex-boyfriend, Torrey Hart, a bait and tackle shop manager, has filed a lawsuit alleging the child welfare workers ignored warning signs before his son's death. Well, it's not alleged. They did. He had filed a petition seeking custody shortly before the killing, and at the trial told jurors his son was everything to me. Yeah. Obviously, the welfare system is not about the child. It's about giving the mother, the woman, whatever she wants. So they saw how dangerous this woman is, and they just thought, who cares about the child? She wants to destroy her property. Let her do it. Actually, it shows less than lack of care. It shows hostility to the little boy. The child welfare system was hostile to this little boy for them to do this to him. Among other things, police responded to Thaler's Fernton's home 21 times in 10 months. She was arrested for stealing drugs from a health clinic, had to find a new drug testing facility because of bizarre behavior. So it's not alleged that they ignored signs. There was 21 signs here. And she lost custody twice of Eli. And yet they still wanted to give the boy to her. Eventually, they just wanted her to have him, knowing that he was in danger. So they actually are hostile to a little boy. She left the apartment, put a recently purchased shotgun in the car, grabbed her son, and went downstairs. Yep, this is an open and shut case. I want everyone to take notes. Okay? Now, listen to this. The judge determined that Thaler was mentally incompetent to stay in trial and assist in her own defense. This is bullshit. The court system's trying to protect this woman. This woman did a premeditated murder and knew everything she was doing the whole way. She was offered a plea deal soon after. Why is she being offered a plea deal? Because they want to give her as little time possible for horrendous crime as they could. Right? So, I mean, this is disgusting. This woman did everything to basically get herself in jail, and everyone's fighting. Everyone in the system is fighting not to put her in jail. The system killed her son. I'm telling you that. That's a statement I'm standing by. The system killed her son. She did too. I'm not excluding her from blame, but they were involved. They were involved. She murdered them, and they were accessories. Society was accessory to murder of this boy. That's what's going on here. So we'll end it here, and know, I'm going to conclude, know that if you have little boy children, you have to protect them as people. Even if they're strangers to you. Just look at their mothers and say, okay, that person could destroy this little guy at any time. Know it. So a proper MRM will protect children, especially boy children, because you know that society can't wait to destroy them. Goodbye.